Hey everybody, this is Big D here on Big D's Fig Farm. And today, yes, I'm making jam. Shocker. Alright, so I've been asked by several people about how I make my jam and the recipe I use. And it's a top secret, but I'm going to let it out. I'm going to let it out in this video. You're the first to see this top secret recipe that you can find in a ball, jar, recipe pamphlet, or in the Certo pectin packed pamphlet in a box of Certo. It's the same recipe you can find anywhere. Pretty much Google fig jam. It's probably going to be very close to this one. I don't do anything special other than probably hand dice my figs, where a lot of people would throw them in a blender and just blend them and then make jam, which, by the way, would be far easier and far less time. I don't do that because I like the chunks of fruit in the jam, which I do think makes the jam. So what I do is hand dice. The recipe is actually 8 cups figs, 6 cups sugar, and 1/4 cup lemon juice. There's my lemon juice right there. Okay, so I hand dice the figs, put them in a pot, add 6 sugars. Now the bowl I use to measure out my figs has a line in it that says 8 cups, so I'm often over that. What I started doing was just leveling out the bowl. I really don't even know if it's 9 or 10 cups maybe total. So I add a little sugar. I mean, the ratio, if you actually do the math, is 2 cups of figs to a 1/3 cup sugar. That's that recipe ratio. So I usually just throw in some extra sugar. It doesn't have to be exact. Tastes good every time. So then I have the lids back here. And then I have the jars and the rings boiling in boiling water, both to sterilize and to heat up the jar so they don't crack when you put hot jam in there. Because if they're cold and you add hot jam, you can actually cause the jars to shatter. And so this is where it gets dangerous. This bubbling hot cauldron of jam can burn you like crazy, splatters everywhere. I'm going to tell you, it is a little bit messy, can be. So anyway, I put the sugar and the figs in here, bring it to a full rolling boil. A full rolling boil is when you stir it, as you can see, and it keeps right on boiling. That's a full rolling boil. You wait till it gets there. Once it gets there, you set a timer. The amount of time I've been cooking them this year, and it gets... I like the jam to be a little stiff, but not so stiff it doesn't move in the jar. But I also like you to be able to spread it. So 30 minutes is what I've been using. I have a timer here that I set for 30 minutes. And you have to stir it every couple minutes because it will stick to the bottom as you continue. I use medium-high heat here. This is the one I'm using. It's on medium, on 6. And I cook it for 30 minutes. After that, I take the lemon juice and add it in, stir it in, keep the heat on, boil it for another minute while you take out the jars and the lids. I take the jars out and invert them on this towel so the water drains out of them. I take the first 3 jars as I'm taking them out and pour the boiling water over the lids to start to heat up the wax seals on the lids. Okay? Then I take each jar. I have a funnel here, a canning funnel that I put in the jar. I set it here in the jar and I spoon in the jar to its full jam with a ladle. And then I bring it over here to my island where I invert the jars here. On the 4th jar, I turn the first one over and I just follow that. Every time I set a jar, I turn one back over until I've done all the jars. And pretty much, guys, that's it. I don't water bath the jam, never have. I never had need to. Guys, I've easily made, good Lord, I don't know, thousands and thousands of jars of jam. Thousands. That's not an exaggeration. I've been doing this a while, even before I got crazy about my fig farm. And I've made a lot of jam, and I've never had a jelly jar not seal. And once the jelly is sealed, if you don't open it, it literally stays good for years. And I mean years, 3 or 4 years. I've opened up jam that had been 3 to 4 years old. Tastes just as good, nothing wrong with it. So it's a good way to keep your figs and have access to them. They're delicious. People have asked me to do less sugar. Nope, not going to do it. If you want less sugar, make your own, put less sugar in it. I like what I make. It tastes great. Everybody else does too, so I stick with it. I don't put other flavors in it. I don't mess with it. It's just figs and sugar and lemon juice. So that's it, guys. I've been asked how to do it. There it is. There's my secret recipe. And hope you have fun making your own self some jam. Take it easy.